Alright, so I'm in Destin, Florida. I've got to head over to Fort Walton. And so much has transpired. Oh my. So, I'm going over here to try to get a couple cappuccinos at the dollar store, and I didn't have my flavor in there. And, look at that little beamer thing. And, it was raining this morning. Interesting info. I hate I missed my little friends from Oklahoma before they roll out. I still might see them before they go. Anyway, they're worried because they said, oh, it's getting slow. And I'm like, yeah, because it's spring break. It runs in spurts. It's the biggest money of the year for this area, the Destin, Fort Walton area, but it runs in spurts. So it's according to the school schedules for all the different states. And so you'll have 2 or 3 states that come down for one period, and then they leave, and then 2 or 3 states come down for the next period, and it does that all through the spring break, which lasts like 4 months. The peak of it anyway. And normally this area dies on everything else but spring break. But I don't know, you're in a hurry to go and you got a local tag. That's way beyond the speed limit. But anyway, it must be late. Anyway, the thing is that it's not dead and it didn't die. Trust me, it did not. It's the way it operates every single year in this area. And so, you know, in the next few days will be the next schools that break out and they come down here. This is a very big tourist area now. Panama kind of burned it out to where they've driven the tourists away from coming there, because they got real happy with tow trucks and police, and they just go crazy with the tourists, and that's their money. So nobody wants to really go there anymore. Look at the donut hole, big old line. It used to be like that all the time. Every single day you'd see that line. But I see it sometimes here and there when I come through here. But anyway, and the pandemic, we got shut down like the first 2 weeks of spring break in 2020 due to the pandemic and the lockdowns and the restrictions and this, that, and the other, and they couldn't make up their mind, and independent malls were doing their own thing, and it was just a mess. And so we lost a gigantic amount of money, and I would venture to say we have lost almost half of the businesses in the area due to that. They've actually had to bankrupt out. They couldn't make. And a lot of the places were still charging rents for the retail storefronts and businesses because they had to. I mean, they needed their money to make their mortgages and everything on their properties. And so it was really a serious mess. And it's a shame because there's some great long-time businesses that end up going out due to the pandemic and will never reopen. So here's a place that they're going to redo here. Interesting. Gutted it and started over. And that was a business that went out during the pandemic right there. That new sign for that pub and grill. But anyway, so you know, when the stock market creeped up and property value got real high all of a sudden, and everybody was buying left and right on residential real estate, and most of those people that purchased were from out of state. They thought it was a really good deal. Well, it wasn't, because it's 3 times the price. But the stock market has crashed a couple times since then, and it's probably going to do about 2 more crashes and then resume back to what it used to be with the normal prices of rents and stuff. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you're an investor, I'm not one to play stock markets or any of that. that's made for the big time gamblers. But I mean, if that's your thing, I personally am seeing, a good investment for Verizon, the phone company. I think that would be a very, very good investment. Trailer parks, anything to do with liquor, storage companies. I think those will be, come on, let's friggin' go. These damn tourist people. Make up your damn mind. It's not as bad today as it's been for several weeks, but that's because we're in the middle of a drop where those states that were here, went back home and we're getting ready to have more come down. Nobody at the tattoo shop today, oddly enough. I think they work 24 hours anyway. There's a few people out there at Crab Island. I don't know why. I'm sure they're flying at least one red flag today. And here's the big one, that tourists are coming and the banana heads are out there swimming in that water with 1 or 2 red flags. Are you stupid? They won't come out and rescue you. They will not. Because of that current. It kills people and people are dying. Because they're so stupid they don't watch for the beach flags. And they go out there and swim and they get caught in that current, swept out and killed. It's real serious. Very, very serious. And I'm seeing on the news every day how people have died locally repeatedly because they've gone out and swam in that water with red flags being flown. If you're going to come to a beach and you're not a sailor and you don't live at the beach, you need to learn real quick to check the weather report for storms, because lightning hits water and kills you too. You need to see what flags are being flown in perspective to the weather so that you know if it's a good time to swim. It's not a joke. I don't care if you're in 2 foot of water. You'll be very, very surprised. I got caught in a riptide cross current in California, out in Malibu. And I was about 14, and it's just all of a sudden I ended up floating over to an area that was not a good area to be in because it had a cross riptide. You can see it on top of the water. It's real simple, just by looking at the waves of the ocean. And when you get caught in it, it's really scary. It'll take you under. And you can't get out. And that happened to me one time in my life. And I'm an avid sailor, swimmer, swim in the ocean, like every day, all that kind of thing. And I'm going to tell you, it will really scare you when you get caught in that. It's like somebody grabbing your feet and pulling you under. You cannot get out. You don't know which way is up. You're tumbling, and you can't even think about breathing because you can't even get above the water line. So it's no joke. It's real serious. And you need to observe these things when you come to places with water and you don't live near water. But it's kind of a murky day today. I don't know if it'll rain anymore. But the ocean is not calm, so it's a little bit choppy, so it's probably going to be a little rough today. And there may be, some hurricane or something not far from us that creates this type of weather. But see how choppy it is out there? That's not normal. And here's a clown out here fishing like a bonehead. Even though this water is very, very shallow, extremely shallow, like to your knees, it will still come up over this highway. So this is not a good day, and you can bet there's at least one red flag up. posted right there at the beach, every beach, at the posting. So you need to go read the billboards and stuff and see the posting or see what flag is being flown. They'll tell you if it's safe to swim or not. This was owned by the National Forestry. So this is a maintained beach by the government. This one here to the right. Now there's water on both sides of this, to the left and to the right. I'm not overly sitting in. But this one doesn't have as much waves. The one on the left does. The one on the left is like the surfing beach. The one on the right is like the kiddie beach. It's not as many waves. Island, Florida. There's Elks Lodge to the right. How many boondockers they got there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now they have permission to stay there because they're Elks members. And if you're a member from another state, Elks Lodge, and you plan to travel to a touristy place like Destin or Fort Walton, you can call that club and then talk to the manager of that club and ask them if it's okay if you stay there with your RV. And that's what they do for members. And we used to never charge for it, so I don't know that they charge for it at all. And this is very dangerous to go across this road as a pedestrian. So many people get killed over here. It's terrible. A lot of people over there at that fun park today. Boardwalk is slammed full of cars. Over there on the left. And it looks like the convention center's got something going on. There's a lot of cars over there, so they must have something going on today. Somebody told me they'd have free corona shots at the CVS pharmacies. And normally they charge for shots at those places, because I've asked twice before in my lifetime, and they charge gigantic money to do any kind of shots. But the corona shots, I'm not sure what they're doing there. But I heard that they're free if you'd like to go down for the 2-step shots. So yeah, they got something going on big time over here at the convention center today. And you do have to wear a face mask. So don't even attempt it unless you're willing to wear a face mask. Because that's their requirements. And you don't have a choice. If you don't want to wear a face mask, don't go. That's all I can tell you.